me han pedido hacer la bienvenida, aunque tengo...
I've been asked to do the introduction. I have this rock and roll voice right now. I like to say that I have this voice because I've been partying all week long, but this is not the case. It is a lot of work to organize these very special events. So thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot to Fundación Telefónica for making it possible. It is a great team, and it is a luxury for the festival to have your support for this. Also to the Madrid Film Office and the City Hall of Madrid and the Marriott Hotel, who have just also supported us with this event. The festival goes on until Monday night, and we'll have other events with Debbie Harry and Rob Roth, where you can get also the tickets. We'll have a video draw screening at Cine on Saturday. It will be introduced by Debbie, and we be giving her an award at Visitará. We are giving her an award because she's helping us give visibility to our initiative for reforestation. This is a sustainability project we have in the festival to compensate our footprint, and we're very happy with this initiative. And on Monday also, she'll be delivering a speech with Isabel Coixet because it's the 20th century of My Life Without Me. The good thing about having the voice like this is that Debbie Harry gave me her voice spray, and she's giving me some advice to look after my voice. So there's always silver lining. And I'll introduce now Rob Roth and Debbie Harry. I don't know where they are. There they are.
Get over here. Hola. Thank you all. Here. Yes, thank you all so much for coming, and thank you, RIZOMA and Gabriela. Oh, there she is, for having us. This is really exciting. I talked before we came. I said to Debbie, "I'm going to talk more about your films, I think, because it's a film festival." So I thought, because we were starting out, let me get my little magic pad. Let's talk Videodrome. Videodrome is going to be playing, is it tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow Videodrome is playing. And we were talking at lunch today about how your character, you didn't really know what it was when you first read it.
Yeah, there was always a question, and it wasn't only my question. There was a question from everyone that she was actually a virtual character, and at that point in time, there was no definition of a virtual character. It didn't exist. So, finally, we caught up with time, and Nikki was virtual.
She's AI.
She's AI.
AI before AI.
How horrible.
But also talk about, because I'm going to play a scene from it, but you told me once that nobody knew what the ending was.
They're right. There was no ending for the film. There were different assumptions or guesses, and different people were trying to assert their authority on Mr. Cronenberg, but he didn't want any of it. He was no. And he knew what he wanted, and I thought it was kind of interesting that he would, start a film and not have an ending.
So didn't you go back to New York for, a couple of months?
No, I would go back, every couple of weeks or something like that. I think I went back and forth at least 4 or 5 times, with the shooting schedule chopping up and so on. So I guess I missed some of the hard part.
But it was Canada. You shot in Canada?
Canada, going through customs into Canada. No.
What happened? What'd they find?
No, they're just, that's it. They're very clear and very clean about everything. So, it is a process like anything else. But I think here in Europe, that because of the union and, it's made very simple now. And going to Canada from the U.S. is not so simple.
So when you didn't know what the end of Videodrome was,
yeah.
When he sent you the final thing is you on the television talking about the new Flesh, isn't that what did you think when you finally got the ending pages?
Oh, no, I was quite happy with the ending, and I was glad that he, included me, and I actually, years before that, I had written that song in the Flesh. So when I had to say "Long live the new Flesh," I thought, wow, this is really kind of great.
Because your virtual character wraps up the whole thing.
Pretty much.
So I'm going to show a clip because it's my favorite part of Videodrome. So lights.
Where's
sound? Oh, there's no sound. We need the sound up. Hold on. Oops, wrong movie. Here we go. I knew this would happen. All right, is the sound ready? And go. What? I don't know why. Huh. Okay, never mind. It worked at our tech rehearsal. Should I try one more time? I don't have any. Okay, never mind. It's not working. That's unfortunate.
Well, if I had my script.
I know, which I think you do. It's true.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the ending part, when you shot it, did you, as a character, did that speech on the television give you more of a, aha, I really know now what she is, or was it just part of the same development?
I don't think it really cleared up anything. It was just, it went along with this sort of undertone of mystery and connivance and, supernatural. So, she was a tool.
And when you first got the script and you were developing Nikki as a character, where did you go with it as far as what you thought the tone of her should be?
I didn't really have a real firm idea about it. I thought that I sort of just played it straight, which is pretty obvious.
Okay. We're gonna. The technical problem I was hoping didn't happen has happened. So I have a backup. Continue.
I don't know, where was I?
Nikki and your development of the character.
I don't know. I was pretty much a novice at that point, and I relied on Mr. Cronenberg for, his direction, and just went with it. She was supposed to be seductive and elusive, so I didn't really have a problem with that.
All right, let's try again.
I'm here to guide you, Max. I've learned a lot since I last saw you. I've learned that death is not the end. I can help you.
I don't know where I am now. I'm having trouble finding my way around.
That's because you've gone just about as far as you can with the way things are. Videodrome still exists. It's very big, very complex. You've hurt them, but you haven't destroyed them. To do that, you have to go on to the next phase.
What phase is that?
Your body has already done a lot of changing, but that's only the beginning. The beginning of the new flesh. You have to go all the way now. A total transformation. Do you think you're ready?
I guess I am. How do we do it?
To become the new flesh, you first have to kill the old flesh. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to let your body die. Just come to me, Max. Come to Nikki. Watch. I'll show you how. It's easy.
Flesh.
Oh, prosthetics. I love prosthetics. So, I do have a couple more questions about this because he cast you thinking you were going to be blonde.
Yes, he wasn't very happy.
So you showed up with dark hair and didn't tell him? You just showed up?
He never said that, he wanted a blonde, so I thought to change it up, and to, for me to live inside of another character, that I should not be blonde, and he was surprised. But he didn't say to take it back.
Did in the end he kind of said, you were right?
No.
Oh.
Nothing like that, Rob.
I just thought maybe.
No.
And, and all right, whatever. What was it like working with James Woods? He's very problematic now, but.
You want to know about James?
Yeah, just give me a
Well, Jimmy was great to shoot with at the time. He was very jovial, and we would do a take, and at the end of the take, he would turn into a stand-up comic, and he would be telling jokes, and the crew would be laughing, and finally Dave would say, cut, and but he always had a quick one at the end. So I'd like to know where that
went.
Where's that footage?
What happened?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I also want to talk about. Well, let's see. There were a couple, but let's just do Hairspray because we need to talk about this wig. How hard was that to wear?
Well, I was told that I should sort of pretend that I was in Vegas. Yeah, and I think there were about five or six wigs that comprised that whole thing, and it was on chicken wire. And you had to keep the balance going.
And what about the explosion? It was just. What did they put in?
You can't reveal these things, Rob.
It was magic, Hollywood magic. So all right, tell us something about John Waters, working with him as a director.
Okay. Well,
were you friends before at all?
Well, we knew each other.
Yeah.
But I don't think that we were as friendly as we have become over the years. I love John, and we have, developed a friendship. No, what do I know about John? John is a genius. He's a madman, and very, very smart. I know that he was here. Has anybody that's here tonight for the last time with John Waters? Was anyone here?
Oh, good.
Yeah. Anybody over here?
Yeah. So he's a genius.
Well, I mean, he's very, very intelligent, and his specialty is film, B movies, and oddball stuff, and he has a vision of the world that is very accurate in a unique way. So in working with John, as with I think with all the directors I've worked with, they've really known what they wanted, and that's totally necessary, and it's wonderful to work like that. As Blondie, I direct myself, or the music directs me. So, working with someone like that is a great relief. To have someone say, be this or do that, and then I try to do it.
Debbie told me, I never knew this, she just told me on this trip, this particular wig had a name.
Well, I named it.
Well, tell them what you named it.
I named it the question mark.
And who was the wig designer in that?
I think Van was. I'm not sure. I think Van did a lot of the makeup and hair. And unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but he was terrific. And he was a very dear friend of John's. And I think that he worked with John from the very early days, when he was doing his, really, I don't know, what would you call his early films? Dirty rogue films, yeah. Fabulous, yeah.
It does look like a question mark.
It is a question mark.
I know. And it is a question mark, literally, like how is this possible?
Yes.
Okay, Divine.
Yeah.
What was Divine like? I never got to meet Divine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Me too.
I apologize. Divine was a sweetheart, and I think a fabulous, kind-hearted, wonderful person, and could play anything, as witnessed in Hairspray. Divine also played a man.
Yeah.
And terrific actor, and we arm wrestled at one point in one of the scenes, and I forgot that Divine was a big man. And I got
very strong, supposedly.
Exactly.
There's a story in Cookie Mueller's book that Cookie Mueller and Divine were driving up to Provincetown in the winter, and the van literally skid off the road and went upside down, and Divine went out and pushed the entire van up, and they drove to Provincetown.
Yeah.
It's a true story.
I'm not complaining, but I had bruises on my arms.
Yeah, but did you tattoo them after and say Divine's bruises?
Well, the bruises didn't show up till much later.
Well, let's actually, while we're here, we're going to watch I Love This Scene in Hairspray. And it's from movie.com, so there's just ignore it. I got all this from the internet.
You had 3 good close-ups today, period. Why can't you dance up front where the voters can see you?
Leave me alone, Mother. I have a pimple.
And you had to choose a colored record as your favorite song, didn't you? That's nice for the neighbors. You got something against Connie Francis? Shelley Fabre? I love Shelley Fabre.
Amber, are you listening to me? We have to have a little talk.
If your father is forced to integrate Tilted Acres, we're out of business. So at least act white on television.
Leave me alone, Mother. Shake a Tail Feather is a wild song. It's got a good beat and you can dance to it. But God of all nights, a Corny Gollin's record hot, and I've got craters. Oh, just pop it.
Just relax. Don't be ridiculous. Take it easy. Tension is the worst thing for a complexion. Come on, lie down. No moping. Mother is here. You have beautiful skin, Amber. There. It's gone. Now it's time for you know what.
Mother, I know all the dances.
Come on, get up. Practice makes perfect. I ought to know. Don't forget, I was Miss Soft Crab in 1945, and that title wasn't handed to me on a silver platter. I worked for it. Now, come on. A 1, 2, 3, pony. Mashed potatoes. Faster.
Amber, I'd like to talk to you.
Yes, Daddy?
Don't stop, cha-cha.
I'm tired.
1, 2, cha-cha-cha. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha.
I had some new campaign flyers made up today. All for Daddy's little girl. Now I want you to hand those out at the hop tonight to everyone, each and every one of those.
Twist. Oh, Daddy. No lip from you, Miss Ingrate. This campaign is costing us an arm and a leg.
New gowns, hairdresser 3 times a week, while your hairspray bill alone is enough to eat up all the profits from the tilt-a-whirl.
You'll do as Daddy says, or we'll send you to Catholic school where you belong, right, Franklin?
That's right, Catholic school.
Okay, tell me about Sonny Bono.
Oh, that's what I was just clapping. I was clapping for Sonny. He was great. He was just who he is, natural.
Were you cast first, or was he? Or were you cast at the same time?
That's a terrible question.
Oh, I don't know. If you,
I don't know.
No,
I have no idea.
And what other like stories do you remember from Hairspray? There was anything that sticks out that was really bizarre or funny or just normal? I mean, the sets are amazing too. The one thing I forgot about is like your house is insane.
It's a real house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't even like really dress it?
I think they dressed it, but
it was
a real building. And, I think John was especially pleased that it was representative of Baltimore, Maryland. And I don't know, he was a homeboy, really. I mean, I think he was very proud of being from Baltimore. And Baltimore actually has an interesting history of French aristocrats.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
After the Revolution, a lot of them moved to Baltimore.
God, that's so random.
Yeah, it certainly is.
So, okay, let's go. This is one of my favorite parts you played in Spun.
Oh.
I don't know if anyone... It's Jonas Ackerland, correct?
Jonas Ackerland,
yeah.
Yes.
Who also did one of your music videos for Good Boys.
Good Boys.
Yeah. And where's he from? Where is he?
Sweden.
Sweden. This is... How did you prepare for this role?
I don't know, I guess I got a little bit angry and tough. I toughened up. And, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I really prepare that much, Rob. I think it's all written. Yeah. If it's in the script, that's sort of the way that I look at it. That it should be all there, and I'm not such a pro, that I have to confuse or sort of trick myself. I think if I had been, in the film industry and an actor for my whole career, that I would have a better answer for you. But for me, it seems like, if I get myself there, and I don't know, costuming helps me a lot.
I was going to ask, who did this costume?
She was wonderful. Yeah. But she and Jonas ended up marrying.
What?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good for him. We'll watch the scene, then I have a question after. So, lights.
Fuck you! What, you bitches don't need nothing?
We don't need nothing from you.
Where you gonna get it from then, huh? Spider Mike? Pinche maricón was raided last night. You got raided?
I told you once already. Just leave, eh? You better leave, or there's gonna be trouble, eh?
That's right. Take your cigarettes and just go.
Fuck the smokes. What I want is respect from you bitches.
Respect is earned, mud flap. Standing there screaming at these women and no way to earn any respect.
These aren't women. These are my fucking bitches, bitch!
Oh, wow, man, look at that. Some of them dykes are pretty goddamn good, huh?
You girls okay?
Yeah.
I don't like resorting to violence, but men, they're evil. They need healing. Here's for the beer.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
You too.
So good.
Thank you.
So, is that the most physical thing you've done on film, do you think? Like, was that hard to fake fight?
Yes, it is. It gave me a great respect for stunt people, and you know, and that was just one little bit, you know, just kicking the guy, and you know, I strained my thigh muscle doing it because
I believe it.
Yes, I really did, but not from hitting him, from holding back from hitting him, pretending that I was kicking him, and then having to hold back and not kick him, and make it look like I really was kicking him.
Did you work with a stunt person to figure that out, or?
Well, yeah, he you know, he was just saying, you know, don't follow
kick
through.
me.
You have to look like you're going to follow through, but you have to not go through. So your muscle it's messed up. You know, it's hard work. Yeah. And I mean, that's just a little tiny thing. And I think about, you know, what is it? Everywhere, everything, all at once. Yeah. All of that, you know, all of those dancing and, you know, kung fu, and I mean, how do they do it? It's amazing. I know it's a lot of camera work and, you know, editing and so on, but, you know, she's amazing. They were all amazing.
Yeah, that movie was great.
Yeah.
I loved that movie. So one other that I'm picking ones we haven't really talked about in the past, which was Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah.
You played the cannibal witch who eats children. And who, do you know who directed, because they're vignettes of different stories that are directed by different people. Do you know who directed yours?
I don't.
You don't remember?
I don't know.
But you said that what's his name showed up?
Romero. Yeah, from, you know, Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
So he was somehow involved in the whole thing, the whole...
Maybe did he produce the whole film?
Yeah, I think so. So, you know, everybody was there. Oh my God, Romero is here.
The king of zombies.
Yeah.
Would you remember anything about this shoot that was particularly...
No, you know, but I can say one thing, you know, I've worked with, you know, children a few times, and they're very impressive. I mean, never really impressed me that, you know, a person that young would know that this is something that they want to do for their lives, and that they, you know, automatically know who they are, and they know that they can do it, and that they want to do it, and I'm always very impressed by that.
I think it's Debbie was like, I said, who was that kid? I can't remember. It was one of the Lawrence brothers. They were like a kind of became sitcom, you know. Here, we'll watch this.
My goodness, you really did keep the best one for last, didn't you?
No. I saved the really best story for now.
Well, you should have told me the really best story before, because now it's too late.
It's the really best one of all because it has a happy ending. A really happy ending.
None of the stories in that book have a happy ending.
But you gotta hear this story. It's about this kid, and his name's Timmy.
That's nice, dear.
And you see, Timmy's older brother had the stupid paper route. And one day, when Timmy's older brother got sick, Timmy had to go around collecting, and Timmy went to this one house. This lady ran to the door. She said, "Come on in." So when he went inside, she tricked him, and she threw him into her pantry. She made him eat cookies all day long, because she wanted him to get fat, because she was going to kill him and cook him and eat him.
This is your story, and you can stop telling it now because we both know how it comes out.
But you don't, because something really weird happens.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You see, Timmy had these marbles in his pocket, and they were all shiny and slippery. And when he threw them on the floor, she didn't see where they went, and she slipped. Whoa! Timmy saw his chance to escape. If he could just reach the keys.
He got you good.
God, that was fun. That was fun.
I realize that's as physical as the fight, kind of, in Spun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I mean, did you do, was there a body double at all in that? To do like the...
No, that was me.
That was you? Mm. Wow.
And he was so adorable. He was so cute. Yeah.
Was it like, I mean, was it weird for a child to know he was playing a part he was going to be eaten? Or did he...
No, you know, I mean, he was probably a lot more mature than me, actually.
What year? Do you remember what year that film was?
Rob.
Okay, never mind. I won't ask about times or dates or periods. Your first film was Union City, and how did that come about?
I don't really know.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I was doing Blondie at the time, and the record company, for some reason, had put me, I forget what they call it, but because I was having a hit at that time, Heart of Glass was actually a hit, and...
it was more than a hit.
Well, no, at that time, it was, you know, what it was, early, and I was on suspension. That's it. I was on suspension. My contract was on suspension because we had a contract that demanded 3 albums a year, which was impossible. There was just no way anybody could do 3 albums a year, especially when you're touring a lot and on the road. You know, it's just crazy. So I was on suspension, and Marcus contacted me about, you know, and I thought, gee, that'd be fun. That'd be great.
Did you know Marcus before?
No.
Or he just thought of you for the role and contacted you?
Yeah.
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 And you did you want to talk about the short film you did shoot with him again years later?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is really weird because I was in a little town, I guess, east of Barcelona, but in France. And it was a town called Saint Hippolytus. And I was told later on that it was actually part of Spain at one time, I guess the Basque region. And the French that they spoke there was a little bit different than, you know, other parts of France. But I think this is probably much the same as North and South United States, where you had a Southern accent, you know, something like that. I'm not sure, I'm guessing. But Marcus wrote another screenplay called Percy Lafar, and I was Percy Lafar, and it was sort of about a little bit of madness and about people that were a little bit lost and had, you know, acted out badly in society. And this was a place where they could get medical help and direction and therapy. And but it was also, you know, off the wall. You know, it was a little bit strange. And so we made this film. And I worked with a very nice actor from Atlanta, Joseph, who was also a fireman. He's quite wonderful. And we did the whole film, and it was hard. It was very low budget, and it was, you know, we shot a lot of it outdoors at night. It was quite cold. I think we started last November, and we finished the film. And 2 days later, Marcus died. And with his death, so went the film. The film has sort of disappeared. And I'm very curious if that one day it might, you know, rise from the dead, so to speak. It'd be very interesting. But I don't know anything. I haven't seen a drop of footage or anything. But I think there were some very good scenes in it. You know, I felt like I'd really, actually, when I was on the plane going home, I had this great, wonderful feeling. Wow, you know, this was really, I felt so good about the work that I had done. And then, to learn a few days later that Marcus died was awful. It's just heartbreaking. Unbelievable.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah, to go from one extreme to the other.
Well, hopefully stranger things have happened. It could be finished,
It could be awful. It could be a regret,
One other one before we start taking Q&A, I thought we'd talk about is Downtown 81.
Oh, right.
Which also has an interesting, similar story where they shot it and never finished it. And then how many years later so who played, and Jean-Michel Basquiat died by the time, because is it true they shot it but they didn't have the audio? They did no audio.
Well, the audio disappeared. And I guess it was it Ferrucci or Rizzoli that had the film? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't remember
either. A little bit mixed up on that.
Yeah.
But I have to say one thing. I had one of the best kisses. Jean-Michel could really kiss. And for that reason alone, forget about the paintings. It's too bad that he's gone. Because, that's a valuable asset.
Oh, yeah. Is there anything you remember about this shoot where you were a bag lady and then you turn into a fairy princess, right?
Yeah. And, he kisses me and I evolve.
Turn into that. How long did they hold it until? Oh wait, who did the voice? Ended up doing Jean-Michel's voice. Do you remember?
I don't know. I don't know if I ever met him actually.
Well, it was way later, like
many years.
Yeah,
many years.
It was Glenn O'Brien put it together.
Yeah,
and somebody did his voice, some famous actor, and I thought that was fascinating. That it took, like 20 more years to finally come out.
Yeah. And we had to lip sync.
Right.
We had to watch the film, and they had the dialogue, they had the script, and then we had to sort of try to match
an ADR.
The mouth movements.
Yeah. Did you? It's almost like an Italian film where they're like, "What?"
What? I beg your pardon.
Is there a film that you have done that has the most resonance for you, that you think was like something that really... what about Heavy? I don't have that in this list.
Yeah.
But Heavy was great. With Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
You and I forget. Shelley Winters.
Yeah.
What was Shelley Winters like?
I only have one Shelley Winters story. Well, I probably have more than one, but when she got there, she she's a method actor. And I don't know, is anyone here a method actor? A method person, perhaps? Okay. So, Shelley was, very famous for being a great method actor. And, she participated in the Actors Studio, and she came up that way. And so when she arrived on the set, she asked me to come to her trailer, and so I did, and I didn't really get into the trailer entirely, but she said to me, she said very quickly, she said, I worked with Frank Sinatra. And I said, yeah, I know, and I loved you, and Lolita. Yeah, I loved her in Lolita. And so she said, I worked with a lot of singers. Most of them really can't act.
Method.
Yeah, because we were supposed to be...
She was tripping you.
Enemies in the story, in the film. So she was setting me up. So I thought that was kind of great.
Before we open this up to Q&A, and this is unrelated to your film work, but one of my favorite stories you have that I would love to, I see as a film, is when you saw, oops, sorry, gotta go back. Where's Joey? When you saw Joey when you were driving?
Oh, God.
Tell them that story. It's so good.
That's such a great story.
It's so simple, but it's really, you have to like visually picture it.
Yeah, it's a great visualization. I was driving across a very busy highway. I think it was 287. That won't make any difference to you, but it's a big, wide, busy highway, and it sort of crosses across the top of New Jersey into White Plains, and so I'm and sometimes I drive a little fast, so I'm coming up behind this little tiny car, and it was this huge person in the back seat with fluffy hair, and I thought, my God, how did that person fit into the back of that little tiny car?
You thought it was a poodle, I thought.
I thought it was a poodle. I thought it was a big standard poodle, fancy haircut. And so I pull up alongside, and I look over, and it's Joey Ramone. So I'm like, hi. It was such a moment. It's just, love you, Joey. Mwah.
Yeah. Oh, Joey. I mean, what are the chances, of the poodle right next to you?
Being Joey.
Yeah,
right.
so funny.
Yeah. I kissed him also once.
Oh, is he a good kisser too?
I did.
Yeah?
I kissed him.
Not as good as Jean-Michel, I'm imagining.
I don't want to.
Yeah, okay. He was your favorite Ramone, though. There's no doubt, right?
Was a good,
He was your favorite Ramone, though, right? Probably. I
think,
imagine.
yeah. I mean, I can't go there.
Okay, we won't go into that.
He's bad. You're bad.
I'm terrible.
Bad.
I don't know. I always want to know. But I guess we can open it up to some Q&A now. We have these translator things if someone doesn't speak English, but so do we? Oh, okay. I see you first. So and the light's in my eyes. I can still see you.
We have to go like this,
hello.
Rob.
Yeah.
Hello, both. Thanks a lot for this amazing interview, and thanks a lot, Debbie, for coming to Spain. We love you, and we will always love you. And before making the question, I would like to point out one thing. You said that you write 3 albums in a year. I'm going to tell you a band that you know perfectly that released 4 albums in a year, and it's the Ramones. They released Leave Home, Rocket to Russia, and they recorded It's Alive in the New Year's Eve of 1977. The 3, not 3, but 4, because It's Alive is a double album. They were recorded and released in 1977.
Well, their songs are also a minute long.
And my question is, now you are publishing your book, your memories, and also Chris Stein is publishing his memories too. So I would like to know if you passed your books to each other before going to the publishing company or not.
Did you give Chris your memoir, and did he give his to you before you published each other's? But you just wrote the foreword, though, right? You wrote the introduction to Chris's book.
I wrote an intro, and he gave me, months and months ago, he gave me 50 pages. And, I got tired. I'm telling you, the truth is, I read that and I thought, oh, God, no wonder I'm so tired. It was, you'll like it. It's good. Yeah, it's good.
And what about yours? Is it better or not?
Is yours better?
Is mine better?
Yeah.
No. Oh. No, it's much different. Much different.
Okay.
You'll like it. It's good that it's different because you can see how we were partners and we balanced each other out. Because he's like, he's got a great memory, and I'm just like, oh, that's nice. And
I've seen you, the two of you together. When you talk, you'll remember something he doesn't, and he remembers something you don't. It's like a tag.
Yeah.
It's why I miss having him at these talks, because he'll always chime in like, that's not how it happened.
Yeah, we did have a good balance.
Thank you.
Is there another? Oh, there's one in the back here. Run. Hi, I'd like to ask about your collaboration with H.R. Giger in '81, because it's not a movie, but it kind of feels and looks like one. So how did that come about, and why did you choose to work with him for that album?
Who's speaking over? Yeah, okay.
Over here.
Okay. Well, it was very special, of course. I guess it was because he had done another album cover with more of a hard rock band, whose name, of course, I can't think of. What?
Emerson, Lake and Powell.
Was that? No. I think there was another one.
No, I think you're right.
And anyway, the thing that happened was that he came to New York after he got his Oscar for creating the monster in Alien. God. Okay. Where is he when you need him, anyway? So he created the alien monster, and of course, loving sci-fi, and this was a wonderful, wonderful concept. I think from that moment on, monsters in film have changed because of Giger, and anyway, so. He came to New York, and Chris and I were living 1 block away from the gallery where he was going to meet people and to show some of his work. And so we just walked over there, and, we hung out and met him, and then said, we only live a block away. Why don't you come over to our apartment? And he and his wife, Mia, came over, and so we got to know him a little. And then later on, the obvious idea to work with Giger and have him do an album cover. But he went even further. He actually came up with the title of the album. And with that, it was a slip of the tongue, so to speak. He said, like, aku, acupuncture, cool. And that's how we got the title. And it had to do with the energy of, doing the acupuncture and having the rods, with lightning hitting the rods and going into your brain. And so, it made sense to him, and it did to us too. So it was a very special event, actually, to work with him. And he didn't speak a lot of English, and he was very soft-spoken, and he, would say like this, I think we have to do something, and, we understood each other after a while, better and better, and he had a full-size bodysuit of the alien creature in the corner of his studio. And he said that many times in the night he would jump because, all of a sudden he would see the monster. So, it was a great time. And later on, should I tell that story?
Yeah.
Okay. Of course. Later on, years gone by, I would go to visit. Being in Switzerland or something, I would go down to Grubenackerstrasse and, say hi to Mr. Giger. And he had the sculptures in his backyard. And what he had done was he had 2 little houses that he combined. And then he was working on getting a 3rd house so that he could have, everything, his studio and everything in one place, one location. And he had, sculptures in the back. And one of them was a train. And you could sit on the train, and the train would go around. And he was very happy. It made him smile. He was like, he would get very childlike when he turned these things on. And, we'd sit on the train and go around. And then he says, I have one other astrologic sculpture. And it was very big, and the astrology signs were, on this sort of like a movable sort of picture of the cosmos. And, they would go around and he would have to, turn this thing on. But it was really very noisy. And he turned it on for me, and it was really, really exciting. And then he turned it off. He says, the neighbors really hate it. So So
imagine living next to H.R. Giger.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything better, really.
So turn off that damn celestial clock.
Yeah.
Also, this cover was banned in the UK underground, wasn't it?
Yes.
When it first came out, and the posters, they banned you.
Yeah.
Because it was too...
I think, yeah.
It's so funny.
It was banned. I think
now it's so... I don't want to say tame, but compared to...
It is tame, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so fun. You were the first. All right, let's go. Oh, here you go. This gentleman.
Hi, Debbie. First of all, let me tell you that it's a huge honor for me to meet you. I'm
Thank you.
a big fan since I was 15 and I heard for the first time "Call Me," and obviously I was so stupid that I didn't. But finally I meet you. What I want to ask you, just if you can tell us how it was the CBGB. How was the place? How was the atmosphere? How it was playing there? How was your relation with? If you want to tell us something about how it was.
My relation with where?
CBGBs.
Oh.
How it was to play there?
What was the atmosphere?
Well, it changed over the years. We started playing there when it was sort of a comedy club, actually, and a folk and blues bar. And, I think the place went through a lot of different transitions and different clientele. I think originally it was a real Bowery bar. So a lot of, the sort of disenfranchised men, would drink there. And even before that, I think it was something that was related to, across the street was a place called the Amato Opera. And I think that, the Bowery has a long history. I mean, for the United States, that has a long history. And there's a beautiful mural that was behind the bar. So from after the, sort of alcoholic kind of, atmosphere of, the sort of disenfranchised men became the hangout for the Hells Angels. And so it was a Hells Angels bar, and at that point, is when the blues bands were playing there, and some folk rock and stuff like that. And some of the people that I knew that played there there was a couple named Gorilla and Tomato, and they were hysterical. They were great, very funny couple. And they had a woman, Fayette Hauser, who was part of their trio, and she was also a great comedian. So the place went through an evolution.
Wasn't she a coquette, Fayette? She became one of the coquettes, right?
No, she was one before. Yeah. So anyway, the place just evolved, and it was a neighborhood bar, it was a dump. And, Hilly was, he had a lot of forgiveness for bad music and bands. So he liked musicians. I think he, at one time, was probably a frustrated musician himself. I'm not sure, that he played banjo. Oh. Nobody plays banjo very much.
Well, that would make sense why it was called.
Country bluegrass, yeah. So then, we sort of inched in, took over and became, gotten more and more famous. And that was it. So all I can say is, if there's anybody, that really, wants to somebody asked me that earlier, about, how can you make a scene? How does it happen? You just, make friends with the owner of a bar and say, I've got a lot of friends who drink, and I'm going to bring them over, but I want to be able to play some music.
Become friends with alcoholics? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, no, everybody has a drink, Oh, yeah. Come on, everybody goes out and has maybe a drink, and so that's basically how we did it.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, one more. Another. Who? Anyone? This gentleman right there.
Hi, good evening. What are you working on for next year? Can we expect to see anything either as Debbie Harry or as Blondie?
What are you doing for next year? There's a new album.
What about, gee. Well, I started doing voiceovers, which I kind of really enjoy doing, because, it's kind of fun. I think that we will tour with the new music. We have new music, and we're mixing it right now. I don't know. I wanna keep working. So it seems what comes along. I'd like to do more acting, more parts. I'm not very good at auditioning.
Oh, that reminds me. I forgot the story. Debbie auditioned for Raging Bull, which I never knew, and that just blew my mind.
Yeah, I did. Do I have to say?
You don't have to. But we'll save it for another talk, but it's pretty good.
I made a very big imprint on Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro. That's all I can say. But I didn't get the part.
We have time for another, if there's another question in the audience. Nothing? Come on. Yeah, you. Pink shirt. I love New York.
Okay. And of course, as everybody, I think I'm a huge fan of yours, and Blondie too. I'm also from New Jersey. I think you have dogs. Do you like animals?
No, I do. I love animals. I love them.
Can you say something about your dogs?
Well, there's a very specific kind that she has. Well, no, then there was Jupiter, who was kind of a...
I often think they're better actors than I am. They've managed to get what they want. I'm a soft touch.
But Japanese Chin is the kind of dog you have. When did you first see the Japanese Chin dog? Why that dog?
I found that dog when I was living on 21st Street, and my downstairs neighbor were hairdressers, and all of a sudden they had this wonderful little dog. And the reason I liked this dog was because it was so tiny. I lived in an apartment. I didn't want a big dog, and so I got this. I wanted to have a little dog, but I didn't want to have a dog that didn't act like a dog. And these dogs are not. They're not, yappy or, they're just like dogs. And so I thought that was a great breed, and that's it.
But they were bred for like royalty, right? Like pillow. They pose. They're very good at posing.
Everything is a pose. That's why I say they're better actors than I am. But I think I don't know if it's China or Japan, their chin means dog in Chinese, I think. And supposedly you weren't allowed to have them unless you were, royal family. And they were called sleeve dogs because you could put one in your sleeve. And you could walk around, and then if somebody came up to you and caused trouble, the dog would scoot out of the sleeve, and they supposedly, I don't know, how these stories go.
Well, it reminds me of your first one, Chi Chi,
Yeah, she was
Chi-Chi
like
was
that.
the first one you had, and she, this is how long I've known you, she didn't like everybody, but she liked me. That's my one, happy. I was like, oh, Chi-Chi likes me.
She didn't like everybody, and she did like you.
She would.
Well, I'm just going to say a quick comment. My sister also had a dog named Chi-Chi.
Oh.
And Chi-Chi here means something very different. But in Brooklyn, my sister named her dog Chi-Chi
God.
also.
Say no more. Say no more. We got it.
Okay, who was the next?
I wanted to say something else. I wanted to throw in the thing about RIZOMA, and that's why we're here. It's for the power of trees and planting trees, and I live with some of the biggest trees I have ever seen, and I love them. Yeah. I thank them very often for the job that they do, how wonderful they are, and I don't know, they instill something into me. It's like a sanctuary, and here we are with the RIZOMA, and because of the carbon imprint of flying here, they're planting trees.
Yeah.
And to balance, to create more of a balance in nature, and I'm very, very happy to be here for that
It's
reason.
a great idea.
Yeah.
Was there one more? Yeah. You?
Hello.
Hello.
First of all, I love you. I love your music. I love your work.
Thank you.
And I want to ask you a question. Can you give us advice to young women who want to make music, create music?
Well, I think you have to be. It's like any art form. You have to be dedicated to the craft, to the exclusion of other things possibly in your life, and have a single-mindedness of purpose. And I think it's an obsession. For me, I had to be obsessed, and I went away from it. I did it for a while, and I went away from it because I didn't like the business end. But then I couldn't get away in my heart and my mind. I could not get away. It was didn't leave me alone. So that was that.
And here we are.
And here we are. Like it or not.
Look, we're right at 34 seconds, so you can come. Gabriella, would you like to come say your...
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you, everybody. Espero que podáis venir a algunos otros.
I hope that you can join us in other events. We are organizing 3 or 4 more events, very intensive days, and I hope you can join us. But please, a great round of applause for our guests here today, for Rob Roth and Debbie Harry. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. I'm going to take this guy here.